This is the first chapter of EVS in class 11. The chapter name is Mode of Existence. So basically in this chapter we will learn about the mode of existence from the ancient times to our current times, like how men evolved from the very primitive stage up to this modern era. Suppose the hunting gathering lifestyle, then the agricultural lifestyle, then the industrial lifestyle, etc. All about these things and impacts of natural resources on our life. How men have changed or modified the land according to his need. How agricultural lands are becoming more and more and the forests are reducing at a rapid rate. Also about the social kinship and division of labor among human, and how is the relationship of man and nature. What are the conflict of ecological what are the conflict arising in recent times in between man and nature. Okay, all these things will be learned in the chapter. Okay, so let's start up with the chapter. So like all other living organism, man is also dependent on nature. Even from the ancient times, man is depending on the natural resources. Okay, we depend on soil, air, water, sun, and all other living organisms for our survival. Basically, the food we eat, the air we breathe, etc., all comes from different things of nature. Man have endured the climatic change and adopted with it, adopted with also the vegetation that are present around that time, that ancient time, and stabilized his lifestyle. Then gradually we came into being at this present day of industrial civilization. So our survival depends on the nature also. The first mode of existence is hunting and gathering. Okay, also known as the foraging culture. So this is a picture of hunting gathering. Okay, the first mode of existence is hunting and gathering, also known as the foraging culture. Why? Because most of the time at this stage of life, man's life, was invested in gathering food for survival. The strategies have been that dependent mainly on the environment. They invented some stone accessories or stone tools in the Stone Age and used it to hunt different types of animals depending on how big animal or the small animals. They also gathered different types of fish, fruits, nuts, vegetable, shellfish, etc. Now, due to the ecological variation, changes of division can also be found among their communities. Now, the social organization of the food gatherers at the earliest type of human society, and they, because they were relatively mobile, so their social organization was dependent on this format. Okay, their society was relatively mobile. That means they have to move from place to place for hunting different types of animals, also depending on the climate to collect different types of food they have to eat. And quite a lot of the time they have to move from one place to another, crossing different borders and countries. So that means the geographical differences were also prominent at that time. Generally, a small group of people were gathered in this type of organization, about 10 to 30 individuals, but sometimes temporarily they have to form large group to protect themselves from ferocious animals or to survive any climatic condition. Or generally availability of food was one of the main important things in the size of this social organization of hunter gatherers. In hunter-gatherer society, different positions or ranks were based on age and sex. The division of labor is mostly on the basis of sex. Men usually hunt, women gather fruits and vegetables, and division of labor helped them to ensure greater efficiency in collecting food. And generally, the oldest member in the group generally the oldest member of the group becomes the decision maker. Okay, so the idiom for man and nature relationship for hunter gatherers were like that nature and man are just like parent and child. Here nature is the mother or the parent and humans are the child, and they feared the nature and deeply cared for the environment. The resources they used, they were renewable, and the waste they have produced, they were recycled organically in the nature. Now there will be a new term, that is the rate of scale of catchment, that is the scale of catchment. So what is scale of catchment? It generally means how much amount of natural resources that you can consume and can be used for the benefit of individual or the community. Okay, so this is the scale of catchment. In case of hunter gatherers, the scale of catchment is the least among all other mode of existence, because this time no such type of devices or machines were invented that you can gather as much as natural resources possible, like the oil or etc. In this time they were not using those kind of resources, so access to resources were also limited. Scale of catchment were also limited for hunter gatherer communities. A variety of nut, fruit, vegetables and roots were consumed by them. Bark of trees were used for clothing. Hunter gatherers not only depend on animal for meat but also use their skin to fend off the cold. Okay, the bushmen used ostrich egg shell to store water. Okay, and uh, sometimes animal hair was also used for clothing. Next is the ecological impact of these hunter gatherer communities. First thing is that they do not have uh, they do not make any permanent damage to the environment, or they do not have any huge impact on the nature. Okay, their community were very small and they were not using any heavy machinery that can alter the courses of environmental forces and etc. That's why their ecological impact is very less. But sometimes uh, in hunting any specific animal at a rapid rate caused huge reduction in their number locally, like the sloth ant eater, the pangolin etc. were lost due to excessive amount of hunting. Different species of this animal were also lost due to excessive amount of hunting, so their ecological impact was not that much, but sometimes locally that impact can be seen. So in the next class we'll learn about pastoralism and other modes of nature. So today's topics ends here. Thank you.